Hi, this is Alexandra King, and you're listening to Hank Jr. on Hank's Corner. Cheers.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. You know, I'm part of Hank Jr. Production, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and of course, podcasting. And I got my next guest on here, which I'm so excited about. You may have seen her not too long ago on my new Music Friday post with her latest song, I'd Be Lying. Please welcome to the podcast, Alexandra King. Alexandra, how are you doing today?
Hello. Oh, I'm happy to be here, Hank. I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
All right. And, I'd Be Lying is, like I said, the title of your most recent song that
Yeah.
you've had out. It's not although maybe we could use it as a promo for our later segment in the show, Two Truths and a Lie,
Yeah.
to kind of figure that out. But, I definitely enjoy the song and the
Oh,
success that it
thanks.
is having. Tell us a little bit really quickly about the success of the song.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So yeah, I released it this past Friday, and it's such a special song to me. I think it's probably like my most honest song that I've released so far. I sat down with two songwriters of mine and that I love writing with, and just kind of vented about life and relationships. And this song kind of poured out of me, just from experiences. And so it's very honest storytelling. And luckily that's like resonating with people that are listening to it. So had about like 30 radio plays so far, mainly over in the UK, Ireland, which is a place very special to me, mainly Ireland. Yeah, I got some press coverage already, and they're like, this is the favorite one by far. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. By far,
Yeah.
like, all right, calm down, guys. But people are really enjoying it, and that makes me really happy. It's just very honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you mentioned Ireland, and one
Mm.
of the things that when I started doing the stuff with the music industry, I started teaming up with Down the Road Radio, which is an online radio broadcasting out of the Ireland,
Oh
UK.
yeah,
That's where it does. And
cool.
one of the things that I found out was that country pop
Hmm.
is really growing over there, and
Yeah,
I've been over in Ireland before, and I know about the old time country that they have, and
yeah,
the more of the storytelling type maids and this and that,
always,
but
yeah.
I didn't realize how big American country pop was doing over there. Was that a shock to you, or do you have deep roots in Ireland? What's your Irish story?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it is huge there. So you're very correct in that. So I've been going over since I was like little, like 2 years old, I think was the first time I went over, because I have more family there than I do over in the States. So I was like, my first cousins are over there, and then second and third and all the things. But so I've been growing up going over there every summer for like 2 weeks at a time, some Christmases and stuff like that. Actually going over this Thursday. I leave for Thanksgiving. We're going over. So so I have some like second cousins or cousins of cousins that they're massive over in the country scene. Like they go to all the dances, they'll go to all the concerts. Garth Brooks is like a lot of people's idol over there. And so my friends that I've told, they're like, wait, what? Like country music, American country music I was like, yeah. It's a huge thing. And the line dancing is really big over there. Swing dancing as well, like at the dance halls and things like that. Yeah, so it's funny, but it makes sense, because I mean, the music from Ireland kind of came over to the Appalachian Mountains region, and so it's kind of like it's pretty much like the same origin of music, and
Mm-hmm.
like you said, honest storytelling and all that, which is in country music as well. So they're similar to the Irish traditional music as well.
Yeah, I could tell that, some of the country music, old school, talking way back when, even
Yeah.
before I was around, had that similarity. And it's just kind of like almost like a full circle that it's kind of
Hmm.
coming back over there. But, you're getting me a little bit jealous as you're talking about the
No.
story here, because you're talking about that you've gone back to Ireland almost yearly. I have not been there since 2008.
Hank,
So,
let's go. Let's go. Come in my suitcase. We'll hop over. It's you'd love it. You went over in 2008, you said?
Yeah, 2008, we flew
Wow.
into Dublin and we did a counterclockwise self tour with a
Oh,
couple of my
good.
friends and my wife, all the way up to Belfast and back around
Okay.
the other side of the country. Stayed in Ashford Castle for the night, and
Wow.
ended up in, I believe it was Cork, is where we ended up flying out of. So
Okay. You did a full thing. Good for you.
yeah, yeah, we definitely enjoyed it, and we've been wanting to go back ever since. But you know what? Sometimes kids come along, and
Life
they kind
gets
of
in the
make
way.
they change the plans a little bit
Yeah,
there.
fair.
And
Well,
so
you'll have to have it on your list, and when you go back, let me know, and I my cousins have, like, a sheep farm over there. They have, like, a lot of people, like, with tourists. They have an Airbnb on their property and all that, so we'll
Oh,
be
well, that's
in
awesome. And one of the things that I found very exciting about the sheep over there, for those
touch.
who don't know, and maybe I can dig up a picture that I have back from 2008, but the sheep are numbered, which
Yes,
which is really funny. So you have
like,
the
spray painted on.
spray painted numbers, kind of like a branding of sorts. And
Mm.
and then of course, I think it was when we were in Belfast is when we got to see some sheep racing. So there they had the
Oh,
numbers
yeah.
spray painted on them, little teddy bears on top of them, and of course they
That's
run
so
after the
cute.
food.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen that. That's adorable. But, like I said, my uncle has a working sheep farm, so we'd go over in the summer, like we would, help herd, and they have sheep dogs that are amazing herd dogs, and we just go over, make sure they're moving the pastures. We dose them, kind of, because they can get like maggots and stuff on them. So I remember I would
Mhm.
call my mom and be like, "Yep, was dosing the sheep for the maggots this morning." She's like, "What is going on over there?" But it's just a farm life, and yeah, it's I love doing that. I've grown up, and I look forward to it every year when I go back, just helping on the farm for a little.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'd be lying if I could not get
Yeah.
back to Ireland and want to enjoy it. And I think that's a great way to segue to your latest song, "I'd Be Lying," here on Hank's Corner.
Port 13 tattoo, picked one out with you. Memory as sharp as the needle. I started thinking then it's way too permanent when we're just such different people. You were all in, got that ink on your skin, and I'm realizing now why I did it. I'd be lying if I said I didn't need you. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't fine on my own. Lying if I said that I believe you. When you tell me that you'll change and we both know you won't. I wanna cut the ties, I wanna tie the knot. I wanna say it's gonna last when I know it's not. I wanna end it now, I wanna keep on trying. Wanna say that I know what I want, but I know that I'd be lying. Took you to Ireland, you got too drunk again. Painted you as the life of the party. But when you sober up, it always feels like love. Till another, I'm sorry. I'd be lying if I said I didn't need you. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't fine on my own. Lying if I said that I believe you.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Alexandra King. And you just heard her latest song, I'd Be Lying, which, of course, we just recently, right before the recording of this podcast, featured it on my New Music Friday post. And, kind of offline, you were telling me a little bit about that. This song is very special to you. Why is that?
So it's written about a relationship that I got out of this past February, but it was a wonderful relationship for a lot of reasons. But we were dated for about 2.5 years, and he just had a bad kind of drinking problem. And it's just, I love him so much. I just couldn't, it was a kind of a toxic cycle. And I was kind of hoping that he would get some help with it. And he just didn't happen. But he actually reached out to me when the song came out this past Friday and said, I just wanted to thank you for putting out the song. And it was hard to listen to, but it was also like really honest, and I needed to hear it. And he just kept saying thank you. And he's like, I'm going to seek the help that I've been avoiding. So that was a really awesome outcome of this song, that it was a, cathartic for me to write. And it helped me get through this relationship and and the feelings like surrounding this breakup that I was really toying with doing or not doing, as you can hear in the song. But just the fact that, him hearing that and kind of processing that it came from love, and the message came from love. And he said, well, I'm going to get the help that's needed. It's just, music is so healing. So that was a really, really positive outcome of that situation.
Yeah, that's really awesome to hear. And, that's definitely different than, some of the artists that come on here and talk about the Taylor Swift syndrome, where they're writing about their exes, and usually because it's
Yeah.
usually nothing too positive. That's why they're exes. But in this particular case, is that that is awesome that he reached back out to you
Mm,
to say, hey, I appreciate you doing that, because as you say, music can be healing in many different ways. And for something like that, to have something that may not have been the best of circumstances, to have something good come out of it, that is great. And
agreed.
I'm glad that he's out there wanting to get the help. And
Yeah.
everybody knows, and if they follow me, they know that I'm a big whiskey drinker, and that I do a lot of posts that have to do also with alcohol and songs of alcohol. But the truth is, it is a mind altering substance. It is something that not everybody really can handle. And that's a good reminder. My buddy Rob Reiser there in Nashville has a song specifically out that talks about the harms of drinking, and
Sure.
what it can do. And that's the flip side of the party side of it, is that
Slippery
alcohol
slope
can be
too.
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and I've seen it with friends and family, and and just peers and stuff. And yeah, I love a good drink. But depending on what's going on in your life or things you have to deal with or whatever, it's not always the best coping mechanism, which it becomes for some people. So the fact that, that he really is like, you know what, I'm going to better my life, because he's a great person and a great guy. And
Mhm.
I joked when we dated, I'm like, look, if we ever break up, I may Taylor Swift you. Like, I hate to say it, but it could be coming. He's like, no, I expect it. Like, dating a songwriter and an
Wow.
artist. Yeah. So he knew, but like I said, the song isn't like an angry breakup song. There was really no anger. It was just coming from love and
Right.
point of concern. And that's why you can just, like, I feel like, hear that heartbreak and that, like, oh, should I do this? I have to do it for myself, but I don't really want to. But it was the right decision. And yeah, and like I said, he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, what a special thing. And I do find that some of the greatest songs come from being vulnerable and do that. I mean, obviously, like we talked about, with alcohol and party songs. I mean, that's one thing. But some of the emotional, true, I don't want to say true country, that may not be right. But country's known for heartbreak and tearing the
Truth, yeah,
heart, and
yeah,
making a tear fall and that sort
yeah.
of thing. And that has to come from personal experience for
Mhm.
most times. So you can't fake that. And thank you for being
Authenticity.
vulnerable and willing to put that out. It's not only healing for you, but it's going to be healing for other people, and it's just an enjoyable song too.
Well, thank you so much. No, and like, the reason I'm doing music is just for that. Like, I believe music is so healing, and I'm authentic. I'm an oversharer to a fault. So like, I will be vulnerable and open and messy and whatever it is, because that's authentic, and that's honestly like what I am and what life is. And so anyway, I like putting that across. And I never want to air anybody else's stuff, but like, it's positive about this, and I'll air my dirty laundry any day. So
Well, we definitely like oversharers here on the
oh, great.
podcast. I will never, drag certain things out, and I know a couple of podcaster friends of mine that
Yeah.
love, for the fun of it,
Yeah, don't run with it too much.
asking embarrassing questions, and I've quite, I'm getting about 150 episodes. I quite really can't get out there and do like, hey, I want to ask you an embarrassing question, just
Yeah.
even if it's for fun. I just let the artist run with it, and if they start it, then I'll jump in
They embarrass
in a
themselves, and
heartbeat.
that's on them. Yeah.
That's right,
That's
exactly.
amazing.
And speaking about being an overshare, let's get to the two truths and a lie segment. If you would like to play, basically here's how it works. You're going to give me three statements in any order, two of them being true, one of them being false. I'll try not to ask too many questions that might just completely give it away before the end of the
Yeah.
podcast, but I will need to try to figure which ones are the truth and which one are the lie. And I know that people enjoy playing this at home, because out of all the things that I've done, this is probably the one I get the most responses for. They're like, I got it right. And, they're so excited when they can figure it out. And I'm running about 50-50. I started out real
Okay.
good, but I'm like a coin. So it could be heads or tails. But if you want to play, give me three statements and we'll do it.
All right. I love a game. I really do. So I'm in. All right. Like I'm not a liar, but I'm an actor. So here we go. So
Oh.
let's see if I can keep my cards close. Okay. First statement. I don't believe in ghosts. 2, I had a full ride to law school. 3, I can't feel temperature or pain on the left side of my body.
All right. And you said the left side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me repeat that, see if I can get this. So I need to figure out which one of these three statements are true. Well, I guess two of them are going to be true, one of them is going to be false. That one, you don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
2, you got a full ride to law school.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, that you don't feel pain or temperature on the left side.
Correct. Yep,
All
those are the
right.
statements.
Okay, well, this is definitely tricky and very interesting one too, because this could go many different directions in my head on what I think. So we'll see if we can figure it out by the end of the podcast.
Tried to spice it up a little bit. They're a little, throw you for a loop if I can.
I love it, and we just had Halloween not too long ago, so I don't know how you did out there, but maybe I can skim through social media real quick and see how you did it. But I won't.
Dressed up with my little dog. I dressed up with him. I'm not a big Halloween girl, but I adopted a dog in April who is my little cutie. He's his name is Pillsbury. He's a chunk, but he's very cute.
Okay.
So he was
Little
the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love dressing pets up, and I had
He hated it.
I had a hot. Of course they do. I had a hot dog for many years, so you know how that goes.
So
but
cute.
But let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about Alexandra King, because, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm here to document life's moments, not just my moments, but everybody's moments, put in a little documentary format. And, that way, when people look back, they could say, hey, a little bit of history there. But, take us from, early on when you started figuring out, hey, I like music, I think I might be able to do this as a career. And then what made you decide to take the leap?
Okay, great. So even before I was born into like a very musical family. My mom and my dad both sing. My dad is a lawyer full time, and then at night he would perform. And that's how my parents met. So when I was born or about to be born, everyone in the town was like, she better be able to sing, because if she can't, like, she's not part of the family band. Like, this is crazy. So I was luckily able to sing, but they bought me a piano before I was born, just in case I couldn't sing, at least I could play something. So, so I was kind of thrust into it. I would go to my dad's gigs when I was literally 2 years old, like sing a little song on the mic, and joined the family band when I was about 7 during the day for like some Irish gigs and some different little day parties, and then fully joined at like 12 years old to play the night gigs at the pubs and all that. So I've always loved music. I've started writing around like 5 years old as well, just dabbling kind of with my dad as well. And And like I said, I would go over to Ireland and my cousin's over there. They're all musical. So we'd sit having sessions and we'd write over there together. So I always had the music running through me, always loved it. But I did do the practical kind of path, I guess, because I did like school. I like school. I was practically doing all the things. I went to college, had a great time in college, and then I went to law school. And in my second year of law school, it was 2020. And I had a massive injury. I broke my neck in 2020. So I dove into a shallow body of water and I didn't know. And I broke my neck on impact and was paralyzed on my right side. And so basically flown to the hospital and they had said to me, there's probably no chance you'll be able to, work that right side again. You might be a quadriplegic after the surgery. And it was a scary road for a while, but after the surgery, I woke up and I was able to wiggle my right fingers a bit. So I knew that, there was a chance that I could kind of walk again and do all those things. And the fear of not being able to be independent and do that and kind of just have a completely different style of life was terrifying. And I also said, like, this is not going to be how I'm going to live. And I'm a very crazy, determined kind of a person. So I got up, tried to figure out how to walk in the ICU. And then I was in hospital for about like a month and a half that summer and went right back into law school in the fall. And I would go to like physical therapy, occupational therapy 2 days a week. My mom would drive me down and then I was able to drive myself. And I would do like law school classes on the way back. And anyway, finished up school, passed the bar exam. And then I was like, get me down to Nashville, get me down there because my life almost completely changed and I was not able to do this. And I've always wanted to pursue music full time, but just kind of was scared of the failure and just wanted to get the practical degrees done. And, but that accident in 2020 really changed my perspective on everything. And I said, I need to get down there and I need to share what I'm doing. And like I said, I've always believed in music is so healing. And I've seen that and I've seen people's reactions to when I play music, whether it's for charity things or it's just one-on-one. And I wanted to do that at a bigger scale. So I got down here in 2022 and that's what I've been doing ever since, learning the ropes. So,
yeah, well, that's definitely a very impactful story there. I mean, that's got a lot going on there. And then for
sorry,
you,
just
no,
tell
not
me all.
sorry, but for you to overcome all that, I mean, that does take a lot of work. That does take somebody that's dedicated. And usually those are the type of people that, do well in the music industry that, that keep that dedication.
Fingers crossed.
And, it's just, first of all, I'm glad that, you were able to heal
Thank
as
you.
much as you've been able to heal since then. I mean, that is definitely a scary thing. And, I'm sure your parents were definitely scared about that. I couldn't imagine, but, I'm
Only
glad that you,
child too. They were like,
oh,
"Come on, kid." No, it was a stressful time, but 2020 sucked for pretty much everyone. Mine was just a little cherry on top.
yeah, and you talked about writing music. So,
Yeah.
during this time, were you, I mean, even if it wasn't full songs, I mean,
Mhm.
were you doing a lot of writing? Was a lot of things running through your head to kind of help you during this time?
You know what? Yeah, like especially when I was in the hospital at the ICU, the focus was just like getting through this extreme trauma. And then when I got to the inpatient rehab, a part of my therapies was they brought in a piano, my dad brought in a guitar, and I couldn't hold a pick. My hand really wasn't working at that point. But that was part of my therapies to kind of strengthen it, but I could play with my left hand. So on the piano, I wrote a few different songs, some definitely inspired about the hospital experience and the faith in there and the things that the four walls have seen. And that was therapeutic. And then when I got home, continued to write. There was a lot of creative moments and a lot of nights alone in the hospital because of COVID. Like the visitation ended at like 5 or 6 p.m. And then I had like the nights to myself and it didn't start up till the afternoon. So it was a lot of alone time, a lot of time in my head. And I definitely used my voice notes. And even if I couldn't play an instrument, I was singing into my phone and writing through it. It's a therapeutic thing for sure. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever show those songs to anybody, but maybe one day.
Yeah, well, like we keep saying it, but the theme is that music can be very
Yeah.
therapeutic in one way or another. And going through COVID was bad enough, but to be doing this at that time, that's definitely tough. And you talked about you were kind of writing music early on. What
Mhm.
is the earliest song that you can remember writing, and what was it about?
I one of like the or like aside from just like writing a little ditty to like a childhood toy piano that like had 3 or 4 words. The first song I actually wrote that I'm like I could let people hear this maybe one day. I was 7 years old and I wrote it. It's called Santa Please, and it was a song. My friend had her dad who was in the army at the time, and he was deployed, and it was kind of about like Santa bring my daddy home for Christmas, kind of a song. So that was my earliest song, and I think my dad and I like played it at a few different like when we'd go to like nursing homes and stuff around the holidays, we'd play it for people, and it's a cute song. Honestly, I'm impressed. Like that song is still in my head, but yeah, Santa Please is the top one that comes to mind for like when I was really young.
No, and that definitely fits the holiday season
I
here
know.
to recall that. We're going to go ahead and play "Chasing Rainbows" here on Hank's
Mm,
Corner. When we come back, I do want to talk a little bit about that song as well.
cool.
I've been so close. It was almost a time or two. Just when I think I'll get there, into thin air, lost in the blue. Chasing rainbows where the wind blows, always seem to be one step behind. Either too slow or down the wrong road, searching for what I'm still trying to find. Maybe I'm a dreamer and love's a pot of gold, and I'm just chasing rainbows. Seeing is believing. Can I even trust my eyes? Is it an illusion? Just keeps moving every time. Chasing rainbows where the wind blows, always seem to be one step behind. Either too slow or down the wrong road, searching for what I'm still trying to find. Maybe I'm a dreamer and love's a pot of gold, and I'm just chasing rainbows. There's new love, it'll do, love. But where's the kind of love they sing about? I want you, love. If it ain't true love, you can bet you know where I'll be found. Chasing rainbows where the wind blows, always seem to be one step behind. Either too slow or down the wrong road, searching for what I'm still trying to find. Maybe I'm a dreamer and love's a pot of gold, and I'm just chasing rainbows. I'm just chasing rainbows.
And welcome back once again to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and my special guest, of course, is Alexandra King. And you just heard "Chasing Rainbows." And this song, some of the words to this song definitely resonated with me. And, before I go a little bit more into that, I want to kind of hear your take to this song and kind of, the backstory to that, just so I can kind of like feel, are my emotions lining up with what you had done? Because
Yeah,
sometimes, what people write, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, but the listeners may come up with a different emotion, or
yeah.
but still enjoy it. But before I kind of say that, tell me a little bit about chasing rainbows.
Cool. Yeah, I love that. I wonder what your take is, because the thing about this song in particular, it could be about a lot of different things. But for me, I wrote this. I had been in Nashville for about like a year and a half. I was kind of like a bit of a frustrating part of just kind of trying to crack the industry and figure out some stuff. So I did a little solo trip over in Scotland and Ireland for like I was driving for the first time over there, which was like bumper cars for me. I am not the best driver over there, but anyway, I was driving one day and I saw a rainbow in the distance, and I was like, I went like, should I just go follow it? Like, I have nothing else going on today. Like, I'll go follow it. And then I was kind of like, this is just so what I'm doing. It's like so emblematic of what I'm doing right now. I'm just blindly kind of pursuing this dream and trying to pursue this goal that there's no set path, there's no possibility once, and even when you think you're close to it, like there's so much more to come. So it's kind of like the frustrating process of getting closer and closer, but also not. So it's a song, I guess, about like determination and pursuing something despite the odds, and being a dreamer and all that good stuff. So, and I was definitely, at the time, I was still in that relationship and toying with like love, and am I pursuing the wrong love, and am I pursuing the right path? And there's a lot of questions going on in this head. So that was kind of what the basis of Chasing Rainbows is. But like I said, it could be about a lot of things. Like, I know a friend of mine reached out afterwards and was like, she said she'd had a few miscarriages and they're called rainbow babies, I
Hmm.
guess. And so she felt like that this song kind of was also an example of her process and her journey with trying to have a baby and successful pregnancy, and the rainbow baby being a part of it. And she said it was really like helpful for her in that process. I'd never even thought about that angle of it, but yeah, it's pursuing something despite the odds.
Yeah, and that's so cool that you mentioned the rainbow babies. I got the opportunity. Sometimes I do a lot of things that are fun related to my photography and video stuff, but
Mhm.
occasionally I do things that besides weddings that truly mean something. And I had the opportunity to do a photo shoot for a lady who basically this was her rainbow baby. And we not only was it very serious and very happy and very timid because they weren't sure exactly how it was going to go, but we did get to
Sure.
have some fun with it. And we bought a whole bunch of those smoke colored smoke, and we
Yeah.
basically lined it up as a rainbow and did the portrait
Oh,
session with
that's
all the
cool.
smoke behind her, which was pretty cool. And I don't get the opportunity. I wish I could play music because I know how much music influences people. But every now and then, as a photographer, I do have that.
Oh, that's
Um,
super impactful. Yeah. I'd love to see the picture. Send it to me afterwards. I really would,
we'll,
if you
we'll
can.
definitely, yeah, we definitely could do that offline. And of course, being a big Kermit the Frog fan,
Oh,
chasing rainbows immediately, of course, on the humorous side, had me thinking of Kermit's, singing about the Rainbow
of
Connection.
course.
And of
I
course
hear that voice in my head.
he's yes, right, he's a dreamer himself. And
Yeah.
one of the things that it did kind of remind me more on the serious end, because I'm a little bit older than you, and I won't say how much older because
Never.
I've lost track after I hit 25, so I'm not really sure
Oh,
where I'm at, right?
okay.
So it's a little bit different for me. Things that I chase, it's not quite the same, and kind of gave me the kind of same vibe, so to speak, as listening to one of Joe Diffie's songs from back in the
Ooh,
'90s, which was "Ship to Come In." I don't know if that's the exact name of the title, but
okay.
it's basically people waiting for their opportunity, their turn, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And for me, it's almost like a and I don't want to say midlife crisis because that's not where I'm going here, but along those lines is that you kind of reflect and like you were
Yeah,
saying, you're chasing this rainbow, and of course, the reality is of the way light is, you're never going to get to the end of
yeah.
it, and it sometimes just makes you start to think, at my age, have I been pursuing the right things, or the things that I should continue
I
to
send you
pursue?
into a crisis. I don't want to do that.
And it is definitely
Yeah.
you can get very deep into the song, and I
Mhm.
won't go any deeper than that because I don't want the fans that are watching this as well to be like, okay, well, we need to turn this
This
off, this
song's
to get too morbid. But it can get as deep as you want, and I think that that's what kind of attracted me, now that I've gotten to experience 3 songs by you,
Mm,
that I really like your music, is
thank
because
you.
of the way it's written. I mean, of course, the melodies are great, your voice is great, but just the lyrics themselves is definitely very meaningful, impactful, and I hope you continue to go in this route. I mean, throw in some fun songs down the road, but make sure
Yeah,
you keep with the this stuff. I love the style that's coming out of you.
thank you. The next one's coming out in January, and it's a little feisty, a little more fun. It's kind of biting, fiery, but also fun. So I think that'll be a different side, but still the honesty rings through. But it's definitely one you can kind of bop to a bit more. So
Well, we can't wait for that. And of course, please send over the cover art as soon as you're ready, and we'll make sure that we get that to the top of the
thanks.
New Music Friday post on my Hank Jr. Productions Facebook page. And of course, we're not going to get away with me getting off the hook. I do have to answer these
Let's
two truths and a lie. So
I'm ready.
you said that
Hmm.
you don't believe in ghosts,
Hmm.
that you had a full ride to law school, and that you cannot feel temperature nor pain on the left side
Yep.
of your body. So this is a little tricky here
Yeah.
because I know you kind of talked a little bit about something about 2 of these, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be right on track with it, because you
Hmm.
did, it just because you went to law school doesn't mean you had a full ride,
Yeah.
and just because you had an accident doesn't mean that you haven't recovered. However, here's what I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say that you did have the full ride to law school, that you can't feel the pain and temperature, but you do believe in ghosts. Oh,
You got it. Well done.
okay. So
I'm a big believer. I used to see ghosts when I was little. So yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, you got to tell us about the story now and why you think that there's ghosts. And if my son's watching, he's going to have to turn this off because he's always swearing that there's ghosted in the house. So what's your story with that?
Yeah, so yeah, sorry to anyone that's scared, but it's not always scary, ghosts, I will say. But when I was little, I used to kind of see a few ghosts. Like my mom, I guess, would say, like, I would leave my bedroom in the middle of the night and she would hear hysterical laughter downstairs. And I would be downstairs at the dining room table having a full conversation with no one. And she's like, "Who are you talking to?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's a really nice man in a funny uniform." And kind of kept happening few nights. And then one day, I said, "Oh, the man's here and he's in his funny uniform." And she's like, "Oh, okay." Calls my dad. She's like, "Chris, Alexandra's lost her mind. I don't know what's happening. She's seeing things." And I go, "Yeah, the funny costume. It's that guy on TV, and it's a police uniform." I said, he said, "Today's a very sad day." And my mom's calling my dad. She's like, "Today's a sad day. He's in a police uniform. I don't know what's going on." And my dad doesn't believe in this stuff, but he got kind of quiet. And he's like, "Well, today is the day that my dad passed, and he died, and he was a police officer, and he actually died in the house."
Mm.
So I said, "Oh yeah, he loves daddy, and he says for me to keep writing and all these great things." And I was like very happy talking to him, and that was my first experience. But I had a few little things and kind of still sense some ghost vibes here and there, but not full combos anymore. But I believe.
Yeah, and for those who are on the fence or don't believe, I mean, hearing a story like that in
Yeah,
itself can make the hair, on my arms rise, and that sort of thing. So
absolutely.
we'll leave it up to the viewers on whether or not they believe in ghosts as well.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit offline a little bit. I'm here in the Tampa Bay area. Those who know me, I'm affiliated with a venue here that's on the lake. It's got a bunch of sand out there. It's called the Tiki Cove, and exactly
Ooh.
what it looks like. Very family friendly. plenty of good drinks, plenty of good food, and of course, great entertainment. And if you ever get the chance to come down this way, we would definitely love to get you to play. But in the meantime, for those who haven't seen you play, give
Mhm.
us a little hint on what should they expect from an Alexandra King performance.
I love that. I'd say definitely expect a lot of fun. Like honestly, even though my songs are a little bit more serious, expect a lot of fun. I love to chat. I love to meet people, so I'll have a good convo when I'm up there. But I also love adding some harmonies into my songs. I have a harmonica that I bring out. I play guitar mainly these days, and I just say, yeah, it's a good array of music that I was raised on. A little bit of Irish stuff, a little bit of originals that I throw in, and it's yeah, it's always a very happy time. I enjoy it, so I feel like people will.
Yeah, and I'm sure you take requests when you're out
Oh
there,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
always, of course, for those who give the request, always try to tip the artist whenever you can. I always believe in promoting them,
Thank
But you talk about that Irish side, and we'll once again, preface it by, be responsible for drinking. But do you
Cheers.
know the seven drunken nights? And could I request that if I see you play?
1000%. And of course, I love
Oh,
that song. I mean, like, you go through a list of Irish, like, trad songs, party songs, Whiskey in the Jar. We got the Wild Rover. All of them have a good drinking, a good stomping and drinking song. So I got you seven drunken nights for sure.
all right. Well, you know what? Now we're definitely going to have to get you down to the Tiki Cove because
That sounds amazing.
I love those Irish drinking songs there, and you named a couple of them right off the bat that I definitely like. So we'll have
Oh,
to
great.
try to make that happen. But for all those that are watching, we appreciate you tuning in. Please follow Alexandra King on all social media. Her website is down below, Alexandra King Music with 2Cs.com. Make sure that when you look for her on social media, you look for Alexandra King Music with that extra C to differentiate from anybody else that might have stole her title from her.
Yeah, let's get rid of the frauds. Yeah.
But definitely, Alexandra, it's been great having you here on my corner, of course, Hank's Corner. And if you ever want to be a guest, you're more than welcome to do so.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I seriously, like I said, this is my first podcast, so I've loved hanging out with you and chatting with you, and we'll have a drink at the Tiki Cove. I see that in our future.
Backseat of a cab, checking rearview mirror makeup. Won't be getting back till the time blue collars wake up. It's bitter and it's sweet, saving frosting from the flames. But if I don't count the candles, do I have to act my age? Would it be so hard to take it easy on me, fighting with reality? I feel lately that time's just ticking by. God, it's so cliche to cry, reminded on this night. Oh, I feel it getting closer. The thought makes me go sober. I love and hate the 17th of October. Painted on a smile, everyone around me singing. Blank stare in my eye, blame it on what I've been drinking. They don't know that I'm thinking. Would it be so hard to take it easy on me, fighting with reality? I feel lately that time's just ticking by. God, it's so cliche to cry, take it easy on me, fighting with reality. I feel lately that time's just ticking by. God, it's so cliche to cry, reminded on this night, but I feel it getting closer. The thought makes me go sober. I love and hate the 17th of October.